All right, this week on the podcast, I have Jordan Yanni. Jordan has a golf apparel brand called FN3P, stands for FN3 Putt. Love it. It was a great conversation. Been seeing the stuff all over the golf courses lately that I play, and was like, I got to connect with this guy, learn more about his brand, what he's trying to do. Maine-based company, doing good stuff. So we had a great conversation. I think if you listen, you'll get a sense of what it's like to be a small business owner, to be starting a brand, to build that up, what that all takes, the behind the scenes stuff that maybe you don't really think about. So he's doing a great job. Really enjoyed talking to him. Hope you check it out. This is the Randy Forcier podcast. As always, if you do me a favor, just subscribe on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Would really appreciate that. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for listening. Here's Jordan. Jordan Yanni, I'm happy to have you on the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
This was super short notice. Been a big fan of your golf apparel brand, FN3P. Why don't we just jump into things? Tell me a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so background has been jumping around. I was a working ski bum after college and kind of been in the event world when I worked at Loon Mountain, and then moved to Massachusetts and kind of did like softball league, like Casco-based sports, but on Boston's level down there for a couple years. Moved back to Maine in 2015, and that's when the FN3P brand started. And I started working for a golf company at charity events. So that got me into the world of golf. The brand kind of evolved, being involved with golf and seeing, different courses and meeting different people. I knew golf was going to be something that I wanted to do and call work. So that's kind of where it all started. So
stemmed from events, crossing paths with golf venues, and then saying, I'm going to start a brand. Any inkling that that's what it would be, even like in college? Like, I want to have a brand. It's just, there's something that kind of happened.
Something kind of happened when I got back to Maine. I put FN3 Putt on my license plate because, years ago, it might have been 2010, 11, 12, somewhere around there. I was on the golf course. Someone said FN3 Putt, and I was like, you know what? You can put that on a license plate. Mm-hmm. And when I got back to Maine, I did it. And it was funny. People taking photos of it in the car. You could see him behind me taking photos. I don't have a graphic design background, but I know enough to move around. And I made a logo, printed 24 hats at Lids in the mall.
You can print hats there?
Yeah, you can get blank hats, and they have like an embroidery machine. And it's, good enough.
Yeah.
So I did 24 hats and put them on Facebook, and they were gone in no time. So that's kind of how it started.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Anyone that plays golf can relate to the idea of an FN3 putt. So it's a great idea for a brand. So how long ago was that?
So that was 17 or 18. Okay. I think it was 18 because I took the hat I have a picture. The first picture I think I ever posted was from the Waste Management Open.
Yeah.
With my hat.
Yeah.
On hole 16. I still have that original hat. It's like yellow and gross but I can't get rid of it.
Absolutely. You got to keep that forever. First of all, you went to Waste Management Open. How awesome was that?
Awesome. Been 4 different times. It is incredible. I might go back again this year. It's a different world. I've been to a couple golf tournaments. This one, you just have to experience it. And it's different. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a party, man. All the golfers are having fun. It just seems kind of like a zoo in the stands, kind of a spring break golf type event. So kind of a cool thing to have your hat there all those years ago and have that memory to share.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So that was 6 years ago. But you started with 24 hats. So then you're like, I'm going to go get 24 more. I'm going to start making golf shirts. Like what was the thing that took it from just doing that to like, all right, I'm going to actually do this and make it a thing?
Yeah. So for a long time, I was just kind of putting the logo on other brands, right? So big one was like the Richardson hats that everybody likes and the trucker hats. And then I get an Under Armour, an account that I could, go to Under Armour and I could get stuff printed, which was great. And it was good. It was to the degree where I was like, buy it, sell it, I'm out, let's do some more. And it was small quantities up until 2 summers ago is when I started to get into like the full design, become your own brand move. So now the inner tag is FN3P Golf. It's not Under Armour.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
That's like a whole other level of production.
Yeah.
You got to find people to actually print your shirts and
Yeah, so you find a manufacturer and you do samples and you say, hey, I want the sleeves a little longer. I want, whatever, a zipper here, pockets here. Like you can really dial it in and make it your own and design it yourself, which is, again, I know enough to kind of move around
Mhm.
and learn and do it all at the same time. So it's a lot, and then your quantities start to go up, so you have to kind of buy in a little more. So started to spend a little more time at the golf courses trying to get some bigger orders, so that direct to consumers a lot of money. Like you spend a lot of money trying to sell it directly to a consumer, and I'm funding everything myself and doing
Yep.
everything myself. So it's a slower process doing it that way, but golf courses have been great. Helps me. I know when I buy 600 polos that I'm going to be able to get rid of a good amount of them. And I feel comfortable doing that instead of sitting on product all the time. So that's kind of where it started there. And I'm just slowly buying more and more and trying to grow and get more pro shops and venturing into even some custom designs with corporations, and making them something that's specifically theirs. Like you can't go online and find it anywhere. That helps too because they buy in bulk as well.
So, God, makes me want to go on a million different angles, but I want to get back to the logo real quick. Was that always what it was? FN3P across like the horizontal? I mean, I see how it's like 2 and 2 on your hat now, but did it start as that and that's what it's been ever since, or has it evolved at all?
The first one I ever didn't have the little flag
Okay.
in the circle. I added the flag, mostly did kind of the linear version like that,
Yep.
and then realized that I liked it on hats as a stacked logo.
Yeah, it looks good stacked like that for sure.
Yeah, I like it on the hat stacked a little bit better. And then, on the shirt you're wearing, it's stacked there
Yeah,
on
right
that
in the, you can see it here. Yeah.
pocket there. Yeah. So, yeah, just that's really kind of it. I did one variation of like a master's one on a hat,
Hmm.
where like this was different shaped. It kind of looked like the outer portion of the United States, kind of like the
Yep.
master's logo, but
Yep.
nothing too crazy.
You can mess with it, I guess, if it makes sense to do a
Yeah.
small variation or not.
I mean, this is the first year that I put something different on the front of the hat. So
Mhm.
I did the Maine leather patch hats.
Yep.
So I put the Maine leather patch and I put FN3P golf on the back,
Yeah, I saw those
venturing
online.
into, yeah, something a little different. It changes it up for a pro shop too, where the pro shops, like I have some of your hats that have the logo on the front. We have a lot of them. We're going to sell them, but now it's like something different for them. Still branded my brand, which is great. And
Mhm.
then, so I'm thinking of new ideas to try to change up the front. Doesn't always have to be that, but that logo's got to stand there. I think everything, I can't go a day without someone texting me about seeing a hat and the
Dude,
logo stands out. So
which is awesome. Are you still doing a full time gig besides all this? Or are you full into the business of building your brand?
this is becoming more full time. Yeah, I have a bunch of different things that I do. So I work for Leaderboard of New England, which is charity event based. That's the
Yeah.
company I worked for when I moved back to Maine in 2015. So, I do a couple of events with them,
Mhm.
which was my full time gig in the summer. In the winter, me and two partners own the indoor golf at Brunswick.
Oh, cool.
So another golf venture there in the winter. And then on the FN3P side, started the FN3P Tour, amateur
Yeah,
golf tour, which is taking up time
I'm sure.
and it's a lot of work. And I love it. And luckily I planned ahead of time and really got it out there. And we landed, 6 different courses. I had
It's
8
great.
teams of 4 sign up ahead of time, which is commitment level is great. It helps me. It makes it so much easier than trying to get people every tournament. I know
So
32
that's
guys are.
let's talk about this. Yeah, so it's the same guys playing all 6 courses, and scores are tracked, and winner. I saw a little bit about it on the website, but that's the idea. It's
Yeah,
basically a
yeah,
season long thing.
it's mostly the same. They're allowed alternates and stuff if guys
Yep.
can't make it, and obviously those things happen. Everybody's got work and family and
Mhm.
whatnot, so we do our best to kind of navigate that. But yeah, they're generally the team's responsible to get 4 guys there. So you're gonna have 32. The team format is quota,
Yep,
so that's it's 4-person quota, so all the scores do count.
that's cool.
But it's quota, so we do -1 point for triple bogeys or worse. So you
Yeah,
kind of putt for double standing there.
yeah, yeah.
You got to make it.
Love it.
Um, so that's team quota, and then the individual, which is really neat. So all the teams, they're already when they enter, they're entered in the individual as well. So their cost included them in both team and individual. It's net stroke play. We do it at about 85 to 90%.
Yeah.
So meaning if you're a 25 handicap, you can go and play against a 2. And it's great. I mean, the leaderboard at Brunswick, which was June 1st, I believe had like a -2 net, 2 -1 nets, 3 evens, 3 +1s. Like it was just jammed.
It's
and
close.
It was handicaps.
Regardless of handicap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how I love to play. I think it's great. I think your handicaps derive that way. You get off of the match play trying to give strokes on holes, and now you just go play around the golf and you get your net score, and it seems to work out really well. No one feels like they got screwed. You're like, oh, I came in 5th place, 2 doubles or 3 doubles, and I shouldn't have had those. So you kind of feel like you're in the right spot.
Tomorrow you have an event at Biddeford Soccer Country Club where I'm a member.
Yep.
What number event is that for the summer?
That is the 4th event. It's a reschedule. We're going Biddeford Saco and then Augusta next week.
Yep. And then where's the last match?
That is at Martindale, August 3rd. So we're doing 3 events in 4 weeks. So we'll pile them right in and be done. James and Whitney is the Biddeford Saco sponsor of the event. They sponsor 2. And then we have the Woodshed up in Augusta, which is right down the street from them, sponsoring that one. And then Martindale is a mix of Ruper's and Ice Pick vodka called the Swing Oil Open. Can't wait for that one.
Hey, man. I love it. It's such an awesome idea. What's the goal for it? This be an annual thing and stand from 6 events to more, or what do you think? What's the hope?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get some feedback, from people and about how many events. And we thought 6 was good because you can kind of space it out and then you give yourself a break over the 4th of July. So you're not really pushing hard for people. It depends on a lot of things. I mean, it started, so our tour sponsor, Chris Dowdy State Farm, was the he was huge because I wanted to do it, and you need some money up front to kind of be able to tell people what's going to happen, right? Instead of being like, all right, if I get this many people to sign up, now I can do this. But that's hard. That's way hard. Yeah. So he came on as the tour sponsor and allowed me to move some money into like marketing and advertising, some trophies. We gave everybody a bag tag. So stuff like that was, and I knew how much prize money I could give out, which is done in Visa gift cards, which is legal, by the way.
I was wondering how that all works.
I looked it up plenty of times. It is fine to do Visa gift cards as prizes. So,
and not just cash,
Yeah. Right now, you can't do cash anyway. Yeah. It feels like all of that's changing with college players getting paid, and we're just amateur golfers. So, but for the meantime, I knew those numbers ahead of time with the help from Chris, and that was easy to now promote. All right, guys, we're going to have all these events. Here's your prize money. This is what it is. I'll adjust the prize money as we get more people or more things, and then went out and sold the sponsorships for each individual event. We have we do trophies at every event, and it's fun. And every summer lasts.
Do you see a field bigger than 32 for next year? Do you want that, or is 32 the sweet spot?
I mean, 32 is nice. I mean, tomorrow we have 43.
Oh, okay. So it
we have 2 individual signups.
Yeah. So
I'm starting to get more individuals jumping on board. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, 60 feels nice, somewhere around there. And again, the courses that we go to, as soon as you start to get 60 or more, you're eating into some member tee times, and
for sure.
It's a little harder to work with them. The courses we've been going to are great and have been helping us out with getting the times and making sure that everything's good and understanding that, there is some golf is popular. And I say you feel like you don't need the marketing anymore, but, we talk about every event, promote some ads on Instagram and stuff like that. And, you just they're part of something different in the state right now, 6 events. And that's just kind of how I pitch it. And the courses love to have us, and hopefully it stays that way. So
that's great, man. I'm glad Biddeford Saco is on that list. Mike's doing good stuff, I think, in the pro shop. Is he who you coordinate with over there?
Yeah. Me and Mike met going to the waste management.
Oh, no kidding.
Actually. Yeah. So he was friends with somebody who was going, and he jumped on board with Roop. Roop over there too.
No, I don't.
They jumped on board. No, but you'd know him if you met him.
Yeah, I probably would.
But they jumped on board, and we had an awesome time out in Arizona. And so, Mikey and I have worked together. They do great in the shop there, bringing stuff in. All the people that work there love that it's local. They wear it.
Mhm.
The kitchen staff's wearing it. They're all into it. It's great. So,
I mean, I told you, a lot of my buddies all have some type of the gear, and we talk a lot about it. I mean, I like how the Bitter Soccer Country Club patches are on the sleeves. I'm sure all the other clubs can put their custom stuff on as well and have different gear. I think it looks great. So the plan is to sell through the shop and then direct to consumer. Is there any other future plans? Is there you trying to get into Golf and Ski Warehouse, or I don't even know what it's like to get into a place like Dick's, have bigger accounts? Is that what you aspire to?
I'd say aspire might not be the word.
Mhm.
Things happening organically for me makes everything feel and look better, right? So if there's a connection there and someone likes it and they want to do it, then that's great. I don't think I want to bang down doors there yet. I have to be able to have the brand in a spot where I can produce
Mhm.
and make sure that I have the stuff I need so that they can get it, right? And again, doing it all yourself, there's just timelines, and I'm my own accountant, which is scary. So so there's a lot of things that I want to make sure that are in place and that are quality so that you don't put out something that somebody might not like. So yeah, but Dick's Golf and Ski, somebody actually texted me the other day about having a connection at Golf and Ski down in Massachusetts. So, trying to work with like, maybe some reps here and there. There's some people that I'm meeting that are in the rep world.
Mhm.
So I've been talking with them. Yeah. So just trying to, keep the ears out. And again, time is always a problem. Where do you put your time and when do you do it? And is it worth it?
Yeah.
Because you can spend a lot of time on something and just have it not work. Lately, again, like I mentioned, the kind of the bigger corporations and custom gear. I'm spending some time on that because not only is it great for me because it is bigger order and I don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to store everything, which is awesome. As everything's in my basement, keeps my wife happy, right? Um, but I'm able to provide a product for them that they can't find anywhere else, and I hit it at a price that's really great.
Yep.
So it works on both ends, right? So it makes me happy and it makes them happy because they can give their, then they go to golf tournaments, and a lot of these big corporations, like playing golf tournaments, sponsor golf tournaments, charity events, and they give gifts to people. Like I just did some for Colonial Adjustments
Mhm.
and Scott Kidder over there, and through a friend of mine, Eddie, and we did some shirts for them, and they're going to stand out. I mean, they're going to golf tournaments for the rest of the summer, and they're going to have their own custom polo. I took the ship out of their logo and scattered it around a polo.
Mhm.
That shirt's nowhere in the world
Yeah.
except for right there. So it's
Oh,
very
wow.
cool for a company to be able to brand like that, and it's branded, through FN3P, which is great for me as well, and it works both ways. So that makes me happy, makes them happy.
It sounds like what you described is the challenge of any business owner, though, just trying to figure out what their tasks are that are going to make them money, things that aren't a waste of time. And it's interesting to hear that going that corporate route is one of those things you see as a good potential moving forward. So,
Yeah, for sure.
what are some of the other challenges you faced through this whole 6 year journey with FN3P? Is there anything that's been particular more challenging than you thought it would be?
Basically knowing when to uh, spend the money and go. And, had a conversation with my wife, and I felt like I was always kind of in the middle of, all right, like I know I need to kind of go for it a little bit, or it's kind of going to just keep floundering in this little world. And
Mhm.
we talked, and it was kind of a family decision to put some more money into it. And that's paid off to a degree. I mean, it's still hard because every time you do it, you're dropping some money that's not funded by anything, it's funded by our household.
Yeah,
So it's like, it's
that's a
scary,
risk.
right?
Yeah.
It's a risk. Yeah. I mean, but what else am I going to do? I've already started it. It's here. So let's put some lifeblood into it and keep pushing and keep doing it. And everybody thinks it's like, oh, you're doing great. I'm like, it's good. It's doing good. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But to really do well, like it has to go large,
Big time.
very large, big time. And that's so you're just trying to find that little avenue. And when it happens, I feel like it can happen quick. But until then,
Well,
just
I
keep
mean,
doing what
you're
you're
just on that journey, and it seems like things are on the upward trajectory. Just it's a matter of how fast it's going to go up or how steep that curve is going to be. But I mean, you're doing the things as a business owner that you have to do to build the brand. How big of a part of the business is Instagram? Is that a thing? Because I feel like I buy a lot of stuff off Instagram nowadays. At my age, 41, like I see something I like, a golf product on Instagram, I'm buying it that way. Is that something you're trying to do to build your business?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Running ads periodically usually has to be at discounted rates and stuff. I see more traction definitely when you give a good discount, and that's fine. If the product's moving, then I'm happy. And I don't mind doing the discounts here and there and, paying for promotion. And, the algorithms work and sometimes they don't. But I think it's consistency too.
Yeah.
So if you're more consistent, it's kind of even just posting on Instagram and social media consistently, you can see more traffic if you're kind of every day and kind of keep it, it doesn't always have to be product. You can go out and play golf and take a picture of a golf course and keep it kind of, in the golf world, but not just throwing product down people's throats. That's not necessarily what I want to do, but obviously there's some ads built right in with the golf tour.
Yep.
So the tour is kind of supporting the apparel and vice versa.
Yep.
I'm been advertising with the Sports Hub out of Boston. So we have kind of a partnership there that I want to grow for the future and kind of move into this apparel events, maybe travel someday and have it all kind of support each other. It's not just one note, not just like, oh, there's clothing, cool. Like it's other things.
It sounds like you're willing to try some stuff that other people aren't doing with how you're making all those pieces fit together.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle golf community, or essentially. I want to treat it like how I feel, like going golfing with the boys and hanging out and, having a family at the same time and trying to play rounds of golf and do fun things and still have time for everything, right? And that's kind of, creating an avenue for people to enjoy the game of golf, the lifestyle of golf, all of it. And then the apparel's just a kicker, right? It's kind of, you live the brand.
I live the brand with FN3 putts every time I play golf, man. So it's multiple times.
Right. I feel like it's like FN3 putts like an analogy though too. It's like, I feel like I use it off the golf course. Like when something happens in my life, like you get a flat tire, you're like, FN3. It's like, it's just the same feeling.
Some bad, stupid thing in your life. Yeah. It's like an FN3 putt.
Right.
Are there any other Maine-based golf apparel companies? Or not really? I didn't even realize FN3P was a Maine-based company until someone told me. I just figured it was just another bigger company that was throughout the country. But yeah, it's nice that it's a Maine-based thing. So obviously have all the home courses in Maine that are probably willing to support you, but kind of expand from there.
Yeah, trying to. There's a couple in Florida, a course or two in New York that are just from some connections that have put some stuff in the shop. So yeah, I mean, Maine's a great state too. It's just kind of like everybody feeling a lot of support from the state and the people to play. So
I'll look forward to seeing kind of where it goes from there. What do you have for advice for people that are thinking about starting a company like yours? Is there anything that you wish you would have done differently?
Maybe a little more investment and money earlier would have helped. But again, like building it organically is always good too. Because you can, I feel like I see some companies that you think are new and then they get bigger but then maybe they get bigger too quick. And I don't know. I'm always been kind of, dipping my toes into different things and letting it evolve instead of pressing to do it, because at some point you can pigeonhole yourself in your life and different things that you want to do. So having flexibility to do certain things, and if opportunities come up and that opportunity seems to be a little more either lucrative or better for your lifestyle, whatever it is, you're able to say yes to it. Or at least, I took on the US Am Tour, which is a whole nother New England based golf tour. I took that on last minute because they needed somebody to do it. But
how so? What do you mean by that? What did you take on? Like in your other job, not FN3P?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's kind of a contracted job, and it's that, everything's built out for you. There's like a group of golfers that are there. I have to just plan the events and get the trophy. So it's similar to what I'm doing with FN3P, but most of the events are in Mass and they're on weekends, and I've done 4 or something like that. And I had to cancel one, and like my schedule was already set for the summer, so we've had a break where I haven't been able to do any. We have 3 in a row coming up starting the 22nd, and each weekend there's 3. So that's a lot. But again, I'm going to different courses, meeting different people. If a connection comes out of the whole thing, then great. And I'm trying to get more into that Boston market at the same time. And
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens. I'll do it this year, planning on doing it next year, but again, never know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I can I don't own it necessarily, but we'll see what happens. It's still something else in the golf world, and
Yep.
it's event based. So
Love it. Is there any new gear coming out soon? Are you lining up some new stuff? I don't know if you're trying to reduce the inventory that you have through the website and kind of get ready for more stuff, or what's next with that?
yeah, so this summer and spring I guess going back to a quick challenge. I had a bit of a production issue at the production plant that set me back in the spring. I had all spring line set up, pre-orders out, orders for golf courses, and that all basically disappeared in an instant. So I had to kind of navigate what I was going to do, if there was a refund, stuff like
God.
that. People that bought stuff. Oh yeah, it was a bit of a thing. There's some daylight here. Everything that I had in the spring, minus a few things, is going to be redone now.
Mm-hmm.
So that stuff will drop hopefully soon.
Yep.
I had a couple new stuff going that was already coming in. And the hats were different. The hats came in different manufacturers. So and again, trying to make sure everything matches and looks good and you can fit it. And so when the hats all come in and then all the shirts don't come in, it's like, all right, well, that kind of lost its, allure a little bit. But just trying to rebuild that kind of timing of when stuff drops is what I'm doing right now. Due for some new stuff to come out. I just got another email about a blade collar polo that will be coming in. So it's like a
Okay.
2-button. Yeah, it's kind of like a Henley. It's like
Yeah,
and they're
totally.
all flat. They're all
Tiger Woods would
flat
rock that
color.
once in a while.
Yeah, I feel like it was in style and kind of went out of style, and now maybe it's coming back with the
Mhm.
lifestyle of golf. But I knew I wanted them, so I'll have 4 colors in that 2-button blade collar, plus 3 more polos coming in. Working on probably 2 more styles of hats, a different color with the main hat, maybe another state on the front.
Mhm. How about the
Working
sweatshirts?
on. Yep. So a lightweight sweatshirt I'm going to be working on. Hopefully getting a sample of that.
Love that sweatshirt. That's the blue one that you're wearing right now. I think that's the same one that I have. The blue's a little bit different on the shoulder.
The gray one, but I think it's the same one.
Yeah, love
Same.
it. Awesome, awesome sweatshirt, man. I think of it as being just different because a lot of places have quarter zips, but FN3 putt, maybe the thing is golf sweatshirts.
Yeah. No, definitely some different stuff. It's nice when shops carry those too, and it's an eye catcher because it's different. And like FootJoy does hoodies, and they're great. And I'm like, well, I should do a hoodie, something that you can wear wherever.
Yeah. Well, when I was in the shop, I was looking for something, and I just grab a quarter zip and I'm like, oh, what's this thing? And like the weight of it, like the material of it, grab it, love it. But it was definitely different. You don't see golf hoodies in pro shops or golf shops or anything like that. So it definitely caught my eye that way. And if it's doing it for me, I'm sure it's doing it for other people too.
Definitely due for a run of hoodies and a jacket of some sort. So again, I'm trying to get some samples done, make sure that they fit right, and you don't want to go out and spend a bunch of money on stuff that comes in and cut differently than what you
Yeah.
want. So that whole process has got to happen when you do new stuff.
Yeah.
Because these hoodies were a different manufacturer. She's been great. It's actually one of the ladies that she left one of the
The other place.
manufacturers. And then she went and she was like, hey, we can help you out. And I liked working with her, and her communication's great. So that's key. I need a ton of communication to do it. So she's been great, and we've kind of been working with them versus the other manufacturer.
Yeah, that's the hidden part of having the type of company that you have that people don't realize, that manufacturing relationship, how important it is. And you talked about getting burned early in the year. It's like you can't really have that stuff happen all the time if you're trying to be consistent with your product and getting it out to places. So it's nice to have a solid relationship that way. Yeah. So listen, dude, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you stepping on. Love your stuff. I'm an FN3 putt guy now, so I'll be looking for all the gear, try to spread the word whenever I can. And would love to do one of your tournaments next year or something, man. So I'll keep an eye out for that stuff too. Be fun.
So, man, thanks for having me on. And FN3 putt discount code on the website. Go save yourself some money.
I'll make sure I share all that info too. So, all right, bud. Appreciate it, man. We'll be in touch, okay?
All right. Have a good day.